Well, good morning, YouTube. We're back at what's left of my garage, and we're going to clean it up today. The contractor is actually supposed to start work sometime this week. Maybe. This has been quite the adventure, because if you didn't know, we're actually redoing pretty much the entire outside of the house, too. So we're getting new windows, new siding, new roof, plus all this garage stuff. Basically, after this, we're going to have a whole new house, effectively. We got to clean up this mess because, well, yeah, it's a disaster.
Activities.
So we got our dumpster and we're gonna fill it up partly with crap today, so we have lots of trash to take care of. Big pile there, big pile there, a ginormous pile there. I mean, there's not much to say. Let's just throw some trash in the trash. Okay, reasonably clean, got a lot of the crap picked up. I am going to power wash it after they do everything. So once we got the new drywall up, because it's going to create new dust and new crap. So I'm going to wait until we got all that done and I'll power wash all the floors. So if you didn't know what we're also doing, part of the reason why we ripped off all the drywall is we're actually adding insulation throughout the entire garage. So they're going to be doing that sometime this week. We're also removing that box right there. I'm going to seal that in and move the water heater onto the wall. So I'll gain some more space right there. Of course, you saw I already added a ton of plugs in the ceiling and in the walls. I'm going to be adding a mini split air conditioner. So we already ran a 220 line. I actually did want more of your guys' advice and suggestions because I've already taken quite a few of them and they've been really good. So I do appreciate that. Any of you that have any good suggestions, please feel free to put them in the comments below or even email me. A lot of people said I should put in a 220 volt plug, and here's my problem. This breaker box is 100% full. So in order to add more breakers and more plugs, I would have to actually have someone come redo this whole box. That is not something I want to do myself. I don't trust myself doing that sort of wiring. I don't mind putting in plugs and lights and stuff. I don't want to mess with the breaker box. I don't want to do that. I think that would be very expensive. Honestly, I don't think it's really that big a deal, because if I have needs for that big of equipment, I'm going to take it somewhere. Like, for example, I can't weld, so I'm not going to add, anything to weld. The only reason I would want to add one is if we ever bought a plug-in car. That is something I am considering, but I don't know. One thing I haven't been able to figure out, and I'm not sure if there is going to be a solution to, is the attic door. So right now it's kind of, two rafters in, and it's kind of, it's not really in the middle, but it's in far enough that it kind of disrupts the visual ceiling effect, because I got some pretty cool lights coming my way. Yeah, I don't know if it's possible to move it anywhere that actually would make it any better is the problem. A lot of people said, you should add a lift. Problem is, my ceiling here is vaulted, so if you look above the attic beams, you can see right there is the ceiling. So we don't have a whole lot of room to work with. They would have to remove these big 2x6s, and even if they move those 2x6s, they'd have to reinforce the ceiling and it would still be vaulted, so we wouldn't actually gain a whole lot of room or space. Plus then I would also have to raise the garage door because those would be in the way, those runners right there. So I don't really think it's worth it at this point. Honestly, I've got access to other garages like Josh's shop, and Adam, my buddy, he's got a lift, and Richard has a lift, and even Loper has lifts. So lots of people have lifts, so I don't mind actually working from the Quick Jacks. So I don't think I'm going to add a lift at this point. It just doesn't make sense. It's going to be prohibitively expensive on top of the stuff we're already doing. So we have so much we're doing to the house right now. The bill would get pretty quickly into 6 figures if we start doing that sort of stuff, and I just don't want to spend that kind of money on this house. So like I mentioned, yeah, we're actually doing all the windows in the house. All the windows are right here. They stored them right here until they're coming to install them. So yeah, we've already got that. We've got all the sidings being replaced, the roof's being replaced. So raising the attic here into a vaulted ceiling, just there's little to no ROI, and it would be very expensive. So I'm not really interested in doing that. Well, we will continue this on another day because yeah, I'm tired. Good morning, YouTube. It's been a few more days, and it's time to continue on with working on the garage. I'm gonna insulate it today, so we're gonna add insulation all over this place. I'm probably gonna replace some of that old insulation because it's like falling apart and well, it just is gross. Yeah, it's just gross. It's probably got like tons of stuff in it that is just not helpful. We're gonna do that. It should be itchy. All right, who says that the Subaru, or I should say the Ferrari Forester, is not handy? Oh yeah. We got a lot of insulation. Oh, it ain't coming out. Alright. Good stuff. There we go. Time to get some gloves on. Alright, we're masked up, safety glasses, gloves, because I don't want this crap in my lungs. So this is the Owens Corning, whatever, pink crap, R13 insulation. Should be good enough. That's all I need. R13 is plenty. Alright, one wall is done. So every time I do anything, literally anything, someone's gonna complain. So here's what we're gonna do. For the next about 2 minutes, I'm gonna talk about my sponsor, Shell, who is sponsoring this video, and you're allowed to sit there and complain about it, but only to yourself. Do not sit there and mash on the keyboard. Don't be a keyboard warrior. Instead, just listen to the awesome sights and sounds of me talking about Shell and how amazing it is and why you should be using it in your car, and also why they have such an awesome relationship with Ferraris. I know I don't do everything right, but ignore that for a minute and focus on Shell. So here's the deal. Shell has been sponsoring my videos for quite a while, and there's a reason why I have Shell as a sponsor, because I believe in their product, I believe in their gasoline, I believe in actually all their products, like their lubricants and stuff too, but mostly we're talking about the gasoline. So the Shell V-Power Nitro Plus is actually better stuff than the other competition because they have better engineering behind it. So I've actually seen their test labs. I've seen when they take a ball bearing and they grind it with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus as a lubricant and then some other brands as a lubricant, and the ball bearing gets way more worn with the other brands versus with the Shell. They also have tests where they do corrosion, and that comes out where there's less corrosion on metals that are like soaked in Shell, but also there's a lot less gunk and stuff like that in your cars. So I'm gonna throw in a clip real quick. When we went to Shell at SEMA, and they actually had a Raptor that had two fuels, one half the engine ran on Shell, one half the engine ran on some other brand, and you'll see it made a huge difference. So take a look at this real quick. This is the dual fuel Raptor, which apparently is his brainchild. As a nerd, I really love this idea. Like the whole idea of showing that Shell is better by running two separate fuels, so it runs left and right thing, correct?
Correct, yeah. Driver's side ran on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus.
Okay.
This side ran on low quality premium fuel. And so what you're looking at here is intake valve deposits on low quality premium fuel. So all this gunk right here.
Gunk build up on the intake valve.
Yeah, so now you've got the valve stem coming from the other side.
It actually looks like metal.
Yeah. And so there you go. That's what valves look like from the factory, basically, right? So
it's all actual metal.
Nothing on there. Yeah.
Notice how it's not black and there's no crusty stuff going up there.
That's right.
Wow, that's really cool. Okay, see my point? This is why you should be using Shell. So again, yeah, they kind of are awesome because they've been partnering up with Ferrari forever. So, you know, that's what this whole thing is about, is making a better space for working on Ferraris. Shell has had a relationship with Ferrari for way over 50 years. I think it's like closer to 70 years. You can learn more about that by going to ngsc.me/Shell-Ferrari. Basically, all the technology they're using in the Shell stuff for Ferrari is trickling down into the fuel that you actually use. That's pretty awesome, right? Use Shell, focus on that, focus on using Shell. Let's continue with that. Well, I think I'm gonna leave the insulation that already exists up for now. We'll see if I have enough left over to do that, but we got this wall and that wall. So actually, let's go to this wall next. right, this wall is all set. So we got the 2 walls set. We still have to do in front of this weird thing. So yes, we still have this little section of wall, that one piece that's not there, and then yeah, so this is being removed. So we can at least insulate this piece right here and those little sections, and then of course all this. And actually I've been thinking about it, and I think I'm gonna add one more outlet, maybe like right here, just because I think it'll make sense just based on where I'm gonna have workbenches and stuff. So let's do that real quick too. All right, all done. Well, okay, so I still have to insulate that box, but I need to remove that box, and I'm probably gonna leave that for the other guys. I haven't decided yet, because once I disturb that box, you need to move the water heater. What do you think, Meg?
I told him he just can't float the drywall.
No, I don't want to do that.
That's harder than people think it is,
Well,
and it'll look
takes
weird.
skill. It takes skill, and I don't have that skill. I still have to do. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna do the ceiling or
I don't
not.
think you should. I think that's kind of.
It's not that hard.
Well, it's
really.
probably a pain in the ass.
Pain in the yes, hard
Yeah.
no, because I mean you just mount it up there and staple it.
Okay, yeah, it's always as simple as that when you make plans.
Yeah, well, anyway. Yeah, so here's my problem is, as soon as you start disturbing this, you've got gas lines and water lines and stuff, and I mean, I could probably remove this wall, but that's it. Like, and maybe the floor. Yeah. It's probably about all I could remove in that bar up there, but I can't really remove this wall right here, because yeah, I don't want to not have any hot water for a while. That would suck. That would really suck. Well, I couldn't resist, and I took out half of it. Yeah, so I just wanted to get a feel for like what the space is gonna look like, and you can see it just makes it feel so much more open, instead of as soon as you walk in the door, there's this stupid box right there. This is coming along really, really well. Well, again, any of you that have suggestions, please feel free to put them in the comments below. This is coming along pretty nicely. Hopefully the contractor's they're supposed to start this week. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Well, we'll continue on working on the garage, and we'll get this done soon. I got an email just a few minutes ago that said my special lights are on the way, so you guys are gonna love these, trust me. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. We have lots of car stuff coming your way, so you're gonna want to stay tuned. It's gonna be sweet.